Good afternoon. Members of Parliament, ladies and gentlemen, our apologies for the interruption. We are back on track, so to speak, and I immediately ask MP Peterson, who was speaking at the time, I had to adjourn, and I will now give him the floor once again. MP Peterson, you have the floor.
Thank you once again, Madam Chair. I believe when we had our technical difficulty, I was answering the interruption made by my colleague MP York in regards to the sentiment of, in some cases, we want the minister to have less power, and in some cases, we justify it. I just wanted to make the distinction, Madam Chair, because when we make those type of statements, it makes it seem as if everything falls under one law. And I want to basically remind the public as to how and why the Minister of Vromi is here today. When we speak about long lease, we are touching the Civil Code. In particular, Article 85 of Book 5 of the Civil Code. That is what we call civielrecht. That is a whole different system than bestuursrecht. Bestuursrecht is what we call, for example, the bouw- en woningverordening. And the hillside policy stems from bestuursrecht. It stems from the bouwverordening. So the minister's ability by law when it comes to his civil ability, when it comes to ownership, long lease, etc., and compare that to him as a government body, we need to make that distinction, because I can also read from the exact same hillside policy a piece that basically explains it. It says the guidelines will be used to judge building permits as per the bouw- en woningverordening, 1935, planning permits, the EROP, 1994, and domain land requests, the Erpachtverordening. Then the hillside policy says these guidelines are a policy and not a law. The specific situations will be taken into consideration. And this is what I mean when you cannot legislate character. It was never the intention of the law to basically handcuff the minister and regulate how he has to make his decisions. No, the law expects a certain type of morale and ethics when decisions are being made by a minister. That's why we have policy, because the minister needs to be able to motivate. Because if we were to say, for example, okay, hillside policy, everything above 200 meters needs to go, then we have to break down many houses here in Samate. And that cannot be the case. That's why the minister is there to regulate and facilitate rather than just come and break off everything. Coming back to the policy itself, Madam Chair, I wanted to inquire the minister through you. Are there penalties within the policy? Because I think that also is something that we need to look into. Not only you have to pay your canon, but what happens when you don't? Because if we read the Erpachtverordening, it's a little bit strenger than what we are accustomed to. Because, for example, I saw that MP Lewis asked, how do you request land? Well, a fun fact, according to the Erpachtverordening, if you don't have a 5 guilder stamp on it, your request is invalid, according to the Erpachtverordening. Of course, if we look at how things have been done the last couple of years in Vromi, we accept the public's request because we cannot expect that from the public. It's a little bit unreasonable. But you see, those type of things need to also be in the policy, because the Erpachtverordening at this moment says that that should be how a request is made. So in that regard as well, the Erpachtverordening also says if the canon is not paid, the year after you can take back the land. That's what the law says. We have not done it, but I think that it should be put in the policy, because in some cases I think that it is justifiable for the minister to take back land when the canon has been paid but nothing has been done to the land. And I had a question that somebody posed, and I'll just send it to you, the minister, to you, Madam Chair. Can we not find a way to have our expats abroad who meet the criteria sign in to these type of projects? So not having to move to St. Martin per se. So I think that the person is alluding to the understaffing that we have, and that we can have expertise, and it doesn't need to be situated locally in order for us to actually get some results from it. And I think that for now, that'll be it for me, Madam Chair. I look forward to round 2. Thank you.
Thank you, MP Peterson. And Minister, members of Parliament, ladies and gentlemen, these are the members who wished to speak on this topic, and now I will adjourn for 5 minutes, and I will caucus with the minister on the continuation of this meeting. Meeting adjourned for 5 minutes. Members of Parliament, ladies and gentlemen, Minister and his support staff, good afternoon and welcome back. We had adjourned after, firstly, a presentation on the issue of the issuance of land by the Minister, by Minister Gums, and then followed by questions from members of Parliament, and we adjourned to caucus on the continuation of this meeting. The Minister has requested half an hour in order to come back with the answers, and thus I will now adjourn for that half an hour. So this meeting will be adjourned until 1 p.m. Meeting adjourned until 1 p.m.